Okay, guys, so here's another thing, another trending topic as far as cancel culture is concerned. And this has pretty much been news for the last couple of days. The Muppets, the Muppets are getting canceled, or not canceled. Well, okay, they are getting canceled, considering there is going to be a disclaimer on each episode, I believe, saying how certain portions of whichever show is showing, if there is any kind of uh, sensitive issues that that was never an issue back when it was filmed, it has now become an issue. And And I believe one of those episodes was with Johnny Cash, and he was singing with a Muppet with um, a Confederate flag in the background. That's one of the things I picked up. Uh, so that wasn't an issue even, I would say, 10 years ago. It's now an issue. And apparently there are a lot of people, Tim Pooh being one of them, and a whole host of other YouTubers, conservative YouTubers, non-SJW YouTubers, putting it out there that, this is just another overreaction. This is just another, cancel. This is another thing that they're canceling. As far as this is just a pathway towards socialism, etc., etc. Here's my thoughts on it. All right. First of all, media matters. Media matters. Okay. You have kids sitting in front of the TV. They take in what they're watching, particularly young kids. They take in what they're watching. Their minds can't distinguish between good and bad, right and wrong. They see, but it's not just kids. It's pretty much everybody. All right. This is why they have an industry of advertising. This is why people pay. Companies pay $3 million, whatever the cost is, for a Super Bowl commercial, because it has influence on the population. I just want to say that off. Just throw that out there, okay? That's the number one thing. That's the reason why cancel culture exists. This is why they are now reassessing uh, previous produced shows, movies, etc., for insensitive material. All right. That's the one thing. It matters. Media matters. Anybody who says it doesn't matter, that these images don't matter, is either in denial, or they're making excuses without any kind of context to try to say that this is not something that should be taken seriously, etc., etc. If it was something that shouldn't be taken seriously, all right, why would there be such a commotion over it? That's the first thing. The second thing is, they've been doing this for blacks and Jews for the longest time, like the last 25, 30 years, right? Anything that's negative that's depicted with blacks and Jews, it immediately gets canceled out, or has been canceled out for the last 25, 30 years. They've pretty much just done nothing but portray blacks and Jews in the most positive light possible. All right. And because of that, they have raised their racial brand. All right. They have raised their racial brand over the last 25 years. Okay. Why is it, guys, that, blacks and Jews, they do this for blacks and Jews to clean up their image? Why is it that you guys have such a problem when Disney does that for everybody else? Why do you guys have such a problem when Disney, and when I say you guys, I mean all you guys, black conservatives, white conservatives, Jewish conservatives, anybody who actually has a conservative opinion on this, that says that, oh, this stuff they should just not worry about this stuff, and that's the wrong message to throw out there, because they're supporting facts, studies that says that these images do A, create stereotypes, B, promote prejudicial behavior in the society, C, influence society. All right. So if you guys leave negative images out there of certain groups and race, etc., over time that builds up, and that becomes a normal thing where this negativity keeps on building up into a stereotype, and just becomes a really negative thing. So you're normalizing hate towards a certain group at a certain point. All right, you guys might think it's comedy, you guys might think it's a TV show, you guys might think it's nothing more than that, but obviously every single study has said that it actually does matter. All right, there's a reason why the NAACP and the ADL go out of their way to hassle the media on previous negative images of black people, Jewish people. So at this point, and there is pretty much a guideline, an unspoken guideline of what you can depict and what you can't depict as when it comes to blacks and Jews. And it's been that way for the last 25 years. So if that is the case, and they are protecting blacks and Jews in this way, why is it you guys have such a problem when they go out of their way to protect other groups in this way, where they reassess the negative imagery that were in certain scenes or TV shows or movies that portrayed certain groups negatively, that portrayed that portrayed prejudicial behavior or insensitive imagery concerning a certain group. Like, why do that? Okay, this is a good thing. I think that that these shows and movies, these studios, Disney, etc., are reassessing the greater good, for the greater good of everybody else, and not just blacks and Jews. All right, they're now expanding the conscious need to be fair as far as portrayals of certain groups and certain races, of every group and every race, and not just particular ones. And it often annoys me, particularly when I was watching the Tim Pool show on this topic, and the guys on this show were making excuses on how, this is, it's inconsequential to society. It's inconsequential to kids who actually watch this stuff. It's not inconsequential. There are consequences to them watching certain movies or shows where certain groups or races are portrayed negatively or have negative connotations put on them. All right, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna go out and perceive the same way, of what they saw, and perceive it, use that as far as stereotyping people, etc. All right, they've already done that. They've already pretty much erased that as far as blacks and Jews are concerned. If they're gonna do that for one or two groups, they should do that for every group. Selective racism is an absolute cancer on that. Selective racism has been absolute cancer uh, in this country for over the last 25 years. It's pretty much replaced uh, old-fashioned racism, where you kind of old-fashioned racism was pretty much racism towards everybody, but over the last 25 years, selective racism has pretty much been the neo-racism, where certain groups feel that they shouldn't be depicted as racist, but they couldn't care less about other groups where they're depicted as racist. In many cases, they actually go out of their way to portray other groups as racist because it doesn't affect them, or it actually promotes their own racial brand.